Hi all, welcome to lecture number 4 of this chapter 5 BEEE course. Today we are going to discuss the rectifiers part. Before that we will discuss Zener diode breakdown and PN junction diode breakdown differences. In the last class we have discussed about Zener diode acting as a voltage regulator. Briefly I explained this. Input side voltage, it is the Vs, output side voltage V0. The regulator means the constant voltage you have to get it. Two conditions it has to overcome. First one, if you change input voltage, the output voltage should be constant. If you change the load, maybe increase or decrease, if you increase the load current or decrease, the output voltage should be constant. So in both cases, as we discussed in the last class, the Zener diode adjusting itself such that its operating current will be changing by maintaining constant voltage, output voltage. So this is what we have discussed. Today we discuss first of all Zener breakdown and avalanche breakdown. This Zener breakdown was explained by scientist named Zener. First of all, what is Zener diode? By using this small diagram I want to explain. Zener diode means it is a highly doped diode. Highly doping means if you do highly doping to a diode, the depletion region width will be less. The narrow depletion region will be formed. So when you apply the reverse bias voltage to this Zener diode, the potential stress applied across this, how much voltage you are applying in reverse bias, that much of potential stress will be established across this narrow depletion region. I can say the electric field, it is very strong in this narrow region. Means it is in the range from 250 to 300 kilovolts per centimeter. It is very high. What happens if you have strong electric field inside this region? What happens? So this strong electric field will detach some electron hole pairs, means they will create electrons hole pairs from a covalent bond. The strong electric field is enough to detach electrons from the covalent bonds inside this region. So these number of electron hole pairs will be increasing. The 4 volts or 5 volts range is sufficient to produce more number of electron hole pairs at a certain voltage range. Yes, this junction will be collapsed. So the Zener diode starts conducting very high current. Okay, this is the way Zener diode breakdown happens. What is avalanche breakdown? In normal PN junction diode, avalanche breakdown happens. How it is, we will discuss it. In normal PN junction diode, the doping level is normal, not high. So the depletion region width is high as compared to Zener diode. So the depletion region is high as compared to this Zener diode. If you apply the reverse bias voltage, the width is further increasing. Means this is the range width. So the Zener effect may not occur in this. Yes. So when the reverse bias voltage is going to increase, inside this region, say small current is flowing. What is that current? Reverse saturation current. Because of the minority carriers. Minority carriers easily flow in this region, even it is reverse bias. How? If a person standing at the height of the mountain, peak point of the mountain, he can fall easily. Suppose the same person at the footstep of the mountain, if he wants to climb it, it requires some time and energy also. The same way, the minority charge carriers, the reverse bias is means the carrier at peak point of the mountain, it easily falls. Means the holes from n side will fall into the p side. Next, the electrons from p side will easily fall into the n side. This is the way minority charge carriers easily fall. If you increase further voltage of reverse bias, they will with the most velocity they will fall, right? But majority charge carriers will not flow. Like if you increase the voltage, you are increasing the mountain height, the majority charge carrier is locating at the footstep of the mountain, it cannot climb that height anyway. So while flowing these minority charge carriers inside this depletion region, it will collide with the immobile atoms. Atoms are there, they are having covalent bonds. While colliding, they will generate one electron from a covalent bond. So one minority carrier will collide with one covalent bond, it will generate one electron hole. Next, these two electrons will collide another covalent bonds, they will produce 2 more, then 4 more. This is like carrier multiplication, right? When you further increase the voltage, this multiplication will going to increase. If you further increase the voltage at a certain point, this multiplication, carrier multiplication becomes avalanche, it is huge. So at that point, the huge number of electron hole pairs will going to conduct. At that point, the diode gets breakdown, it will not oppose the current. So the sharp current going to increase. This is what avalanche breakdown happens in normal PN junction diode. This should not happen, this will damage the diode and circuit also. So the avalanche breakdown is depending upon the kinetic energy of the charge carriers, minority charge carriers. But in GNR diode, it is depending upon the strong electric field. Okay, one by one we will discuss these differences. First one, GNR breakdown occurs in heavily doped diodes. Yes, avalanche occurs in lightly doped diodes. Second point, in GNR breakdown, ionization takes place by electric field. Ionization means, yes, you are detaching the electron from covalent bond, it is becoming ion. That is due to the electric field only. In avalanche, because of the collision, because of the kinetic energy of the minority charge carrier, it is colliding with the existing immobile atom in the depletion region. So ionization is because of the collisions. In GNR breakdown occurs even with less than 5 volts. Why it is? You have very narrow depletion region. 4, 5 or 6 volts is enough to get this GNR breakdown. Occurs at higher voltages in avalanche type. So you need so much amount of the charge carrier inside this depletion region, means you need high voltage. After the breakdown in GNR diode, the GNR voltage is constant, it is slightly increasing, it is not constant. So this is about breakdowns in normal and GNR diodes. The rectifier part we are going to start now. What is rectifier? Actually, rectifier is a circuit which converts AC into DC signal. Rectifier is required when you need a DC signal. When AC supply is available, if you want DC supply, if you don't have any DC generator or any other device, you can use the rectifier circuit. So AC signal into DC signal can be converted. So AC signal is having some frequency, the DC signal frequency is 0. Means DC signal constant signal, output waveform time period is infinity. 1 by time period is frequency, 1 by time period, 1 by infinity, it is 0. By this you can make some true or false statements finding. First one, rectifier's output signal frequency is same as input signal frequency. No. Output signal is DC, the frequency is 0. Input signal frequency maybe 30 hits, 40 hits, 50 hits, maybe 1000 hits, 1 megahertz, whatever. So the input signal frequency is different, output signal frequency is 0. It is false statement. Next statement, rectifiers basically convert a signal into a signal by changing frequency. Rectifier won't change frequency, it is the output frequency is almost always 0, that is DC signal, right? Types of the rectifiers. Coming to the our topics, half wave rectifier, full wave rectifier. In that full wave rectifier we have center tap and bridge rectifiers. Today we discuss half wave rectifier. What is half wave rectifier? Half wave, 50% of given waveform it will be rectified. Half of the given waveform only rectified. That is half wave rectifier. These are the two circuit diagrams. This is without transformer by having only source, the source and the transformer also. Both circuits will operate as half wave rectifier, same operation. Okay, so this is the input source is having positive half cycle, negative half cycle, that is AC signal. This AC signal can be reduced or increased by using transformer. So here I have shown the less number of turns, means it is reduced in step down transformer. So the output voltage input is equal to input voltage into turns ratio N2 by N1. So this is the voltage applied across this rectified circuit. Coming to the operation, how it operates. Half wave rectifier works very simple. First we discuss positive half cycle. Positive half cycle means this is the positive potential, this is the negative potential of the source will be applied. So positive is connected to anode of the diode, negative is connected to cathode of this diode. So these diodes are operating in forward or reverse bias. It is forward bias. So yes, it is like short circuit. Forward bias, ideal case I am taking, it is the zero resistance, almost it is short circuited. It will directly supply whatever voltage you apply directly to the output side. There is no drop across this. So output voltage is same as input voltage. This is what operating in positive half cycle. Next, negative half cycle means polarities will be reversed. See this is the negative half cycle input voltage, polarity is plus here instead of minus here, as like in earlier case. The positive potential is applied to cathode of the diode, negative potential is applied to anode of this diode. It is in reverse bias mode, means it is open circuited. So circuit is open, the output voltage you cannot get this, right? So it is the zero voltage. This is the waveform, this is the zero voltage. That's what half wave rectifier. Positive wave only you are rectifying it, the negative wave you are just removing it in the output side, so it is zero. A combined waveform I can show like this. So this is the positive negative half cycles, input side, output side only positive cycle, negative half cycle is zero. This is the complete waveform of half wave rectifier. Input waveform, it is the maximum voltage Vm at pi by 2 radians instant. It is the pi radians is the zero voltage. The same signal is transmitted. This is the same signal. Input output are same. During this negative half cycle, the diode is open circuited. This is the zero output voltage, right? So out of these two half waves, only one half wave you are getting as output. This is the current. Don't think as these two are same. the current I maximum is equal to V maximum by resistance of the circuit, right? This is the current, this is the voltage waveform. Analysis part. Analysis means, what about output voltage RMS, output voltage average, what is the rectification efficiency, that we discuss. What is RMS voltage? Yes, the root mean square value. Root of mean means 1 by t. All squared values means you need to apply integration. All square values. Suppose you see this is 0 voltage, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all volt. You need to square up. So I cannot do by having some direct addition, because it is a analytical function. So I need to do integration of all square values. So the V is equal to V maximum sine omega t. Yes, this is from 0 to t. 0 to t is the time period is 0 to 2 pi. Yes, 1 by 2 pi is the mean value, and we have two parts. Up to pi value, this is sine waveform. Yes, up to 0 to pi region, V maximum sine omega t square d omega t. This is the first half cycle range. Next to half cycle range, it is 0, right? It is 0. So if you do it, you will get as answer V maximum square into pi by 2. So pi by 2, pi and this pi will be cancelled. Vm square by 4. Answer you are getting Vm by 2. So V naught RMS is equal to Vm by 2, means 50% of maximum value. The corresponding current will be just Ohm's law, V naught RMS by resistance RL. Okay. Next, what is average output voltage? Average means just mean of all values, not squared values, all values of the signal. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all values you sum up. Simply I can say area under the curve. 0 to t integral V dt. If you do it, you will get answer Vm by pi. Right? Vm by pi. The corresponding, this is the current. Please make a note. This is the current. V average divided by RL. Vm by pi into RL. Okay. So now we discuss rectification efficiency. What is rectification efficiency? What is rectifier output? I should get DC, but it is getting AC also. So how much DC I get in the output side out of total signal? Okay, first of all I calculate DC power. V naught average into I naught average means DC voltage into DC current. Okay, so if you substitute the values whatever we have derived now, so you will get Vm square divided by pi square into Rn. Right? What is AC power? Output RMS value. Right? So V naught RMS into I naught RMS. So Vm square by 4 into Rn. Right? So if you make the DC output available power divided by total power at the output side, if you make it, if you substitute all the values, you will get 40.6%. You see, this case I am taking as this diode is ideal one. The forward bias resistance I am taking as 0. So the half wave rectifier just it is 40.6%. What it's mean? Out of the total output power, only 40% is DC type, right? Remaining 60% it is AC, not useful. Only 40% it is DC. This is about half wave rectifier. The coming lecture we discuss about full wave rectifier. In that we have two types, center tapped and bridge rectifiers. In detail we will discuss it. Any doubts, please ask me in WhatsApp. Thank you.